Hey fellow Star Citizens, Scrapjet here. In today's episode, I want to go over a route for larger ships like the Crusader C2 Hercules Starlifter and the Drake Caterpillar that I've been running recently and thought I'd share with all of you. As we discuss the route, I'll see how it compares with my 8 rules for running cargo, which I made a video about a while back. I'll include a link in the description for that as well. I'll be going out of order with the rules here a bit, so you have to bear with me a little. To start, let's take a look at rule number 8, which says big ships get cheap shit, smaller ships get expensive shit. In this case, we'll be looking at some of the cheapest commodities in the verse, fluorine. So let's stop for a minute here and see what UEX Corp has to say about trading in fluorine, and am I right in considering it? Surprisingly, a C2 full of fluorine will get you 42k. Now, you certainly can run this route with smaller ships, even as small as a MISC Freelancer Max, and still get a decent number of credits. If your goal is to just learn and learn the ropes of running cargo, then by all means, run any ship that supports cargo. Just know that you won't be looking at as much for your time. Looking at the UX Corp website, you can see that we'll need to invest a cool 163,000 credits to fill the C2 with fluorine, which really is pretty cheap overall. And that's a C2. Suppose you wanted to fill a MISC Freelancer Max. That'd run you around 28k. So rule number 4 says don't invest all the credits in a single run. In fact, I try hard not to invest more than 50% of what I have on hand. Therefore, to fill the C2, I try to have around 320,000 credits in the bank. That doesn't mean I won't run fluorine if I have less than 163k to invest. If I don't have enough to fill it, I just keep making runs and adding the profits to my investment in fluorine until I have enough on hand to fill it. Then everything over 320,000 credits I consider credits I can use to buy stuff, which usually means another ship. Looking at you, Retaliator. So where do we start on this route? Originally I was running fluorine over at Calliope around Microtech, but started seeing too much NPC pirate activity, and the endpoint stopped buying my fluorine, most likely because the route had been the subject of another Star Citizen YouTuber's video. At that point I moved on to this new location, and to be honest, I think it's better anyway. Where are we going today? Right next door on Clio. We'll be starting at Rayari Cantwell. I found this to be a better starting point than Calliope's SMC A-6 for no other reason than wind on Calliope is a lot stronger than Clio's. In fact, Cantwell's wind is really just annoying. Make sure you land facing into whatever wind there is, and you'll be fine. Once there, we run into the storage building. That's the one with the big orange neon glow sign next to it. If you're going to do any looting, make sure to do it before you make your purchase or after you've sold your cargo. Head on over to the trading console and load up with Fluorine. This answers rule number 1, only fill up once. Cantwell can meet your Fluorine needs. There's no reason to go anywhere else. Then rule number 5, buy the most profitable commodity first. Because our destination won't purchase anything else we can buy at Cantwell, Fluorine is what we'll be filling up with. And because Cantwell will always fill us up until too many other people are running the route, of course, we can answer rule number 6, always leave full with a yes. Now that the hold is full of Fluorine, we'll head on to our destination, which happens to be on Clio as well, Rayari McGrath. When leaving the pad after filling up with cargo, as a rule I do a lot of pre-flight stuff. Turn on the engines, obviously, flip on the quantum drive so it's spooled up before we leave Atmo, and set max acceleration to around 3/4 speed. Lift off the pad a few meters, change my heading to as close to 90 degrees as I can get it, and then gun it. Pull in the landing gear, and before you know it, we're ready to jump to McGrath. If anyone is around to give us trouble, they have a very limited window of opportunity. Having McGrath as our endpoint also answers our next rule, number 2. Keep your run short. From the time we transferred the Fluorine to our hold to the time we sold it at the trading console McGrath, we took a total of 9 minutes, which I like a lot. 10 minutes or less in the hold is what I'm looking for. McGrath also answers rule number 7. Your starting point and end point should be consistent, meaning Cantwell should always be able to fill my hold, and McGrath should always be buying everything in my hold. As soon as you break this rule, you end up spending time looking for a buyer for the remaining cargo, which will cause you to break rule number 2 and puts you in greater jeopardy of a 30K or pirates, etc. As soon as rule number 7 starts breaking down, I switch to another one of my routes. While Cantwell does experience some wind issues, I haven't run into any at McGrath. It's almost always a nice sunny day at McGrath, so overall, I prefer this run over the similar route over on Calliope. A round trip with the C2 takes roughly 20 minutes. Therefore, I can make almost 130k an hour in a fairly laid-back fashion. I have another route I'll be sharing with you all that's even more laid back, but that's for another episode. I haven't seen anyone lingering about on Clio, which I found comforting and also answers rule number 3, avoid people at all costs. Over at Calliope, I was starting to see a lot of folks. Some ships made sense, like other cargo ships, but when I saw a Hammerhead just orbiting Rayari Anvik on Calliope, I decided it was time to move on. Another nicety of this route is when you're finished for the day, you can sack out on your ship. I would only occasionally return to Port Tressler when I was starting to run low on hydrogen. Thanks to pre-purchase and post-purchase looting, I had all the food and water I would need. So that wraps up the latest route for larger ships, Fluorine on Clio. I hope you found this video helpful, and make sure to subscribe and smash that like button as it really helps out the channel. Have a great day, Scrapjet out.